Hey everybody, this is Meredith from the Witty Gritty Paper Co. And today we are going to be doing a little review of these brushes from Daiso. If you've never heard of Daiso, it's basically a Japanese dollar store. And I believe they have locations in the US and only a couple states. I think they have them in Washington State, California, and Texas. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that's where they have them. And I picked these up because I've seen a couple other artists use them. I picked them up while I was vacationing in Seattle. And I featured them in a haul video a little while back. And I had a lot of people ask if I would do a review on them. So here we are. So first of all, before I actually get into testing them out, let me just go through what I normally look for in a watercolor brush, what makes a good watercolor brush to me. And the first thing is whether or not a brush sheds, because I hate it. It's like my number one pet peeve with painting. When I'm painting and then the bristles of a brush come out right in the middle of a painting and I can't decide whether or not to fish it out then or wait till it dries, or I just hate when that happens. So I am happy to report these do not do that. So they pass that test with flying colors. The second thing that I look for with brushes is whether or not the paint on the handle chips. So sometimes if you leave your brush in your water too long, accidentally overnight or on purpose, whatever, you'll come back the next morning to find that the paint is chipping around the barrel of the brush. So these do not do that either. Now, you shouldn't leave your brushes in the water, but if you do, it's good to know whether or not they are going to chip on you. Like acrylic handled brushes will never chip because, you know, they're not wood. They're not painted wood. They're just solid acrylic. So these don't do that. The third thing that I would evaluate a brush on is basically how well it keeps its shape. So with watercolor, my main thing is keeping control. I really like, I really want to feel in control of my paints when selecting the right brush for any given project. And if you're painting and your brush splays, like you put a little pressure on and the bristles just splay out, sometimes you want it to do that, sometimes you don't. Generally, stiffer brushes are more prone to that. Now, these were all white when I, originally bought them in the package, and they're made of nylon, I believe. The bristles are white nylon. So they are going to stain. No matter what you do, they're going to stain. And they seem to hold their shape like relatively well. Like I would score them like maybe a 7 out of 10 for holding their shape while painting. So maybe I'll just demo it a little bit here so you guys can see. Here we go. Just get a little bit of purple. So if I go to paint a stroke, it's pretty good. Like I can push down and let up and push down and let up. And the bristles, they pretty much stay with me depending on the amount of pressure I'm using. So they're not perfect. They're a little bit stiffer than I would normally pick for watercolor. They remind me more of brushes that are probably better suited for acrylics, actually, but they're short-handled. So basically only watercolor brushes are short-handled since you don't do watercolor at an easel traditionally. Like long-handled brushes are for acrylics and oils because you could stand back at your easel, and short-handled brushes are for, work you would do flat. So like the bristles feel like they're more made for acrylics, but the handles are more made for watercolors. So that's just an interesting thing. And actually, if you see these, let's see, I believe they were $1.50. They might have been $2, and you get 5. They're sold as a pack. There's they're all rounds. There's a number 12 round, let's see, a number 10 round, number 6, number 8, I had them out of order, and number 0 round. So let me just say that you're never going to find any brush worth its salt, in a pack of 5 for that much money. I've never encountered one this cheap that even performed this well. So if you see them, I would definitely grab them. Whether you just started out painting and you're on a budget, or whether you're experienced and, you just like to test things out. I think they're amazing for the money. And, the last thing, I forgot. The last thing that I look for when judging a brush is how much water and paint it holds. And I kind of thought that these would run into a little bit of a stopping block there because, like I said, the bristles feel like they're made more for acrylic to me. And generally, those brushes don't those kinds of brushes don't really hold as much. Wrong paper. Don't really hold as much, and they run out faster. So I would say that these are pretty much, it's a terrible circle, but we're gonna go with it for demo purposes. They're pretty much what I thought they'd be. Like, they hold an okay amount of water for their size, but I do feel like I have to dip back into my paint a little bit sooner with them than with my more expensive specialty watercolor brushes. So out of the 4 things I really judge brushes on, I would say they're amazing for the money. So they don't, you know, the bristles do not come out. That's a huge plus for me. The handles do not chip. You know, they don't, you know, they hold their shape pretty well. Not as well as my favorite brushes, but like I said, like 7 out of 10. And they hold enough water that any beginner is going to like them and do well with them. Actually, a lot of the times beginners are very troubled by brushes that are too thirsty. And my favorite brushes are faux squirrel brushes, and they are very thirsty. They hold a ton of water before you have to go back to get more. And I really like that about them, and I liked that from when I first started painting, but some beginners are sort of tripped up by that. Like, they'd be more used to a brush like this. So all in all, definitely recommend these. If you see them, definitely get them. And if you're a beginner looking for a cheap way to find some good brushes, this is the best I've ever come across for price, you know, price and quality matched. So, and this is in no way sponsored, or I'm not affiliated with Daiso, nothing like that. This is just viewer requested. So I thought I would do a little review on them. And I think I'm also going to do a little painting so you can sort of see the brushes in action. We'll do like a little speed painting, and that'll be it for me. So thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy the speed painting. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.